Here's a curious object. What's it all about? It's a blue-bodied thing with a white disc and a line. It looks like a dial, actually. There's numbers around there. This black thing, whatever that's for as well. It's something you keep in the pocket, certainly. But what's it do? Well, perhaps this will give you a clue. When I push down here, it goes click, click, oops, there. Yes, there we are. That's making that little thing turn around, slowly revolving. There's a counter from 0 up to about, 30, good heavens, extraordinary, or no, 35 anyway, it's a lot. Well, the answer is, have you guessed it yet? That's the shape which is a giveaway. If I do that, no. Yes, that's the answer. It's a little thing for lifting up. And giving myself a drink. Delicious. So that's number 1, and I've got to drink another 29 bottles, it looks like. I think I'll leave for that one. But it's an extraordinary little gadget, that, which counts the number of drinks you've had, just in case you forget towards the end of the evening in a pub, in a busy pub, then drinking the same drink. So these are things I picked up in the late 80s, all in a little suitcase full of extraordinary things. This one here is very nice. It's got this stuff here, and it allows you to make notes. It's a little Cute Memo. So I write my name here, which, if I remember, my name is T-I-M. How's that? Readable? Well, I can make it smaller if I use a ballpoint pen or something. And then if I lift this up, peel it back, it's disappeared. And it's clean to use again. No need to use a rubber or anything else, an eraser. It just keeps. Very nice idea. This is a cutie. It's a little boot made of rubber. Something in here, perhaps. Let's just see what happens when we squeeze. Oh, a little kitty, a white kitty. As you go back in again, just about, push him in. And you put and release, pull and release, pull and release. He's always gone back in again. Oh, he's done it. So he comes out and he pops out and he pops back in again with a little pop sound. Something children would thoroughly enjoy and have done in the past too. This has got something bizarre about its construction because it's wobbling, which is a bit strange. There's something going on. Yes, there's something inside. Definitely something inside. It's a ball bearing. It's quite a large ball bearing. I've had one broken to see just how big it is inside. But the result is it does extraordinary movements and actions which, when I put it in front of children, they can't understand why it should do that. Because if it's just a little plastic sort of sweetie or lozenge-shaped thing, it shouldn't do all those funny movements. Nice one. This is an extraordinary thing which I picked up in a street seller in Belgium somewhere. It's a nice bit of jewellery. You wear it around the neck. But there's something here which is very interesting. So if I put this magnifier on it, you need it as well, and have a really good look at it, see if I can read what it says. Oh, this is extraordinary. Yep. This is a grain of rice in a little oil-filled glass tube, and at my request, the street vendor put actually in front of my eyes, without a magnifying glass, which is what I've got, and it says, tin of 1,000, 1000, that's 1,000 toys. Well, that's what I call myself. Well, she heard what I said, so she did it. And that was the deal. And I was very, very happy with her fee and thought, this is wonderful. Shooting on a grain of rice, writing on a grain of rice, and then giving it to someone else as a present. What a thrill they'd have, especially a lady friend would have a great joy with that. So, good stuff. Here's another item from that same suitcase. It rolls like that, but that's not the idea. It pulls apart slightly, there's a spring inside, just about visible, and it clamps like that. What's it for? Something very strange. You wouldn't really believe this, but it is for these. Look what I'm doing. I'm holding them up like that. Just in case you can't be bothered or you don't want to make the thing sticky with your fingers, that's what you do with it. Very neat. That was its intention. It fits at least 13 if you're playing one of the card games which is divided between 4 players, and works very well. So I thought, because I've got so many playing cards in my collection, let's just try doing something a bit daft. So here's something a bit daft. These are little cards, one of my very small decks of cards, and they fit just as well in that as they do in the other. So that works, but just about. And let's try another deck. This time we'll go back up the other way, and let's try a bit of this. Oh, yes. Well, let's have a go. It might work. It's going to look a bit daft, actually, but there we are. And I certainly couldn't get 13 of these round with the hand. I've got to throw these in my hand, but it's just a bit of fun to try them out. Yes, it works just about. Yep. And so we go to the top of my collection, the largest ones, which is these ones here, which are enormous ones. And just for a bit of fun, we'll put the 3 on. Have to grasp it with my hand, otherwise it's going to fall over. And we've now managed to fill it up. What a daft thing. I couldn't get more than about 5 cards on there, and it's taken up enough room there. So it's a bit of fun, but the original idea is perfectly sound. It's used for holding a hand of cards, up to 13, very happily in this little gadget. And it's something that's obviously made to help people who don't like holding the card in their fingers, or their fingers get a bit sticky or something like that. The last thing I want to show is the wonderful advancement since this little collection was started at about late 80s in lasers. That's the very first laser I had, I think, or nearly the first. And it's very chunky. You make lasers that size now, the same amount. It makes a red light appear on here. The thing about that is it's not very focused. It's not small. It's not very bright either. But when I tried it on something more modern, it just wouldn't work at all. This is something I'm going to try it on, but it won't work with this. It just fuzz, fuzz, fuzz. So we come forward 30 years, and we have a really smart piece of equipment here, because it's very bright and it's green, very fine. And now with that one, you can do something quite remarkable, which won't work with the original 30-year-old laser. This is a piece of plastic with very high technology on it. They call it here Digital Optiscope Corporation, that's the manufacturer. And when I put it over here, it starts making all sorts of interesting effects as I move it up and down the little squares. Quite extraordinary. But the interesting one of the lot is this long rectangle. Something quite extraordinary happens when I put the laser through it. So let's see what happens for you. Should I do it? A little bit higher. That's it. Now look at that. A globe of the world in green. That's right, the world, that's a green place, green planet. And it beautifully demonstrates what advances have been made in those 30 years. Quite one of my favourite little carry-on toy, because it's still quite rare, this, although it's 5 years old, I think, I got it. It makes that extraordinary effect which I'd never have guessed until the chap, Clive, who supplied it to me about 5 years ago. So a lot of advancement in those 30 years. And that's just a little demonstration of some of the stuff I collected in 1989.